Hey everyone, thanks for joining in on the podcast. I really appreciate it. I got a couple cool things I'd like to talk about. And for one, I'm pretty sure you all have noticed that I'm not really doing these intro pieces. But I'll bring them back around just for a little bit of there. I'm just super busy about some other things that are going on. But I got a email from Apple Podcasts and have ranked 204 I guess of all podcasts. I don't know. It was pretty cool to just have an email saying, "Hey, your total, your current ranking is 204." And after doing a little bit of research, there's over 500,000 podcasts, and somehow I'm ranked 204. I don't know too much about what that means, but I guess that's pretty cool. And something else as of just today, Sunday the 25th, I'm actually currently working with Liquid Death, the water company. And so, you're going to hear me, bring it up on every episode from here on out. And yeah, I think that if you're someone that does and like water or wants to transition into drinking water from, energy drinks or soda or whatever your bad habit is, Liquid Death is a sparkling water. So it still has like a little bit of a pop, a little bit of zest, a little bit of yin yang, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But what better way than switch on over to that? If you're gonna spend money, then spend money on some Liquid Death in a can. And plus, something else about me working with them was the fact that they actually want to help end this whole thing about plastic bottles. So the guy that decided to make the company was like, hey, you know what? I want people to drink water, but I don't want to do this plastic bottle business. So he is doing the can. And with the can, you could recycle it or you could reuse it. And I know you can, technically do that with plastic, but, plastic has so many chemicals and it's so bad for the environment. And so, really think about it. If you're going to, dive into, drinking more water or anything of that sort of, having water around you, stop with the water bottle routine with plastic, switch on over to the Liquid Death can. Again, thank you so much for all the support. I really appreciate everything. Y'all are amazing, and I am getting more and more listeners every day. I'm checking the stats, and it's a steady. I'm getting like 4 to 5 new people practically every day, which is pretty awesome. I don't do too much promotion on this, just when I release the episode. So whoever is talking out there, I really appreciate all you guys and girls for sharing everything that I do. I really appreciate all of it. I really hope you guys enjoyed the next episode and all the ones that are coming. I have some really good stuff coming out. I'm diving a little bit more on the industry side with the next couple people that I have coming out. So anyone that wants to learn about booking, running a label, or promotions or whatever, I'm getting there. It's all about timing, and things are happening in life. Shows are coming back, so it might be stretched out a little bit, but you know what? From here on out, like I said from previous podcasts, it's Mondays and Fridays are my 100% gonna happen. Wednesdays will be every once in a while. Again, for the millionth time, thank you so much for all the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, no, this is awkward. Right now, hold up though, because I stream our my little conversations on Twitch, so I just
Oh,
gotta
cool. Okay.
yeah, I just gotta freaking do this. I gotta freaking find my freaking shark with my freaking laser on its freaking head. Uh oh, it muted again.
Sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
All right. Oh god, you know what? All right, here. We're gonna be blown up. Bam. All right, we're keeping it like this, and I'm gonna do start streaming. We're streaming it. Hell yeah. How are you?
Sick.
Thank you for
I'm
joining.
doing good. Glad to be here. Is this the? Do you normally stream these? Because usually I just like listen to them on Spotify. The past couple that you've released.
Actually, I still put them on Spotify. This is really new. Like, this is like the third one that I'm streaming. I've been wanting to do it a while ago when I first started, but I was just kind of like, okay, so like I was super into the idea of like renting a room out. Like, I was legit like looking for like a small space to rent, and I was getting like a backdrop made and like a 3D sign and all that shit. And like I was gonna go a full out on this. And then my girlfriend was like, maybe you should at least do like at least 20 episodes and try to, if you make any money from it, then like put that money towards a place because if no one listens, then you're doing this for no reason and you're spending this extra money. And I was like,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's a really
there's
good
still a
point.
reason to do it. It's there's no harm in just going at it.
Yeah. Well, she knows I'm just such a busy person and she knows that once I start doing something, I put so much effort into it. Like, oh my god, I'm bad with like I'm such a freaking busy person. I Twitch stream, I in a band, I work a full-time job. I'm learning photography and videography at the same time,
Ooh,
doing the podcast, and one of my other friends hit me up about another band that I might be doing with him. It's really up in the air. He just needs another guitarist, and he's like, "I just need you to play rhythm if that's cool with you." I was like, if I can find fucking time, then maybe. But I think I'm gonna say no to it. But um,
yeah, I know that feeling, man. I just my schedule is also like just fucked. I actually just recently left the band that I was in just because my schedule just couldn't handle it anymore, and I felt bad trying to stay in this band while they are trying to soldier on and finish out an EP, and I'm like barely able to make it to practice half the time because they're several miles away. But silver linings are is that they have a new vocalist that they got, and they're doing a really great job with getting the EP recorded, and they're making way more progress, and it gives me more time to focus on my main band. So win-win there.
okay, so wait, so did you, on your Facebook page, did you have both of them listed or just the
I
one?
used to. I removed the one. So my main band definitely Tragedy by Design. That's my baby. I used to be
Austin
the
talks about it
vocalist.
all the time.
Yeah,
All
he
the
does.
time.
I actually, I sent him a couple teases earlier, getting him all excited for it. So, and then the other band that I just left, they're called Not Till Tomorrow, and I was their frontman for a while. Did a couple shows back before COVID, and they have two songs out with me on vocals, but I don't think they're going to keep them up once the EP's finalized. Once they have the new vocalist released with all that, so. Definitely, I love those guys to death. Like, every single one of them is a great guy, but it's just, it wasn't fair to them to have me stay in that band and not be able to contribute as much as they, deserve to have somebody contribute. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
really tough decision. And yeah, it was kind of selfish on my part to just waste their time, essentially.
yeah. I mean, Oh, actually, I can't. I don't know if Austin tells you anything about what happens with TLT.
He's said a couple things. I mean, nothing too damning.
Okay, okay. Well, don't say anything because if you might possibly know a couple secrets, don't say anything. Oh yeah.
I won't.
Okay, cool. I don't edit the podcast like ever. There's only one podcast I've actually edited, just because there was like a medical issue that happened actually during the.
Ooh.
Yeah, it wasn't severe, crazy. Just a buddy of ours. He on the Stay Noisy podcast, our friend Kyle had an allergic reaction to the dog that ran in the room. Like allergies,
Ooh,
really.
shit.
Yeah, so his allergies started spiking like crazy. So while he was taking care of that, we had a little bit of dead air. So I just went and cropped that out. But for the most part, don't say anything. You don't want anyone to hear. I don't edit this shit at all. If there's gunshots, if there's if you're getting robbed, I'm gonna capture all of it. Like it's cool,
Oh,
man.
hey, wouldn't be the first crazy thing to happen in my neighborhood since I moved in. Uh,
How long you been living there?
I've been here for about a year now. Our lease is, I think, just about to get renewed here in this apartment we're in. But I don't know if you pay attention to sports at all. But there was this former Seahawks player that got arrested for like totally just beating up his girlfriend, and that was
Okay,
here in
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
apartment complex that I'm at. So I was just like, oh, because
Oh,
woke up one night and there was a whole bunch of cop cars just outside like the one building over, and had no idea what was going on there. But yeah, I later found out on the news, oh hey, that's actually my apartments that all those
Fuck.
cop cars were at. Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, it's
Oh,
definitely better than my old apartments, at least. Like the very first apartments I had moved into, like when I first left my parents' house, that place was not the nicest. Like during like my first week living there, I woke up to a homeless dude camping out on my back porch. So fun
oh
stuff.
God.
Yeah.
Oh no, that sucks. So wait, I feel like I I feel like I've met you.
I
Do
don't know.
you
Have you ever
go? I mean,
been?
this is a dumb question, but I've been to a few Seattle and Tacoma shows.
Yeah, I mean, I used to go to a lot of them back in 2019 when I first entered the scene. There's a very good chance I've seen you there, especially like I know Austin has been to a lot of shows and he talks about you guys all the goddamn time. Whenever back when he still lived up here. So, um, I mean, what shows have you been to recently up in Seattle? And I
Okay,
could
so
tell if I've been to them or
out of
not.
yeah, okay, so the last one I went to was the Scene's Not Dead one that was at El
Oh, that's
Corazon.
okay. That
20
sounds really familiar. Who played that?
Jared Dines hosted it. It was Jared Dines is hosting
Oh,
For the Likes
yeah,
of
yeah.
You,
That's
Avoid, Dragged Under, Lurch.
Lurch. Yeah,
It was
that's
just a
back when
four-band
Josh
bill,
was
I
still
think.
in
Oh,
Dragged Under. Um, I was
yeah,
not at that show, but like half of my band was. Um, but yeah, I wasn't able to make it that day because I was working. But I very much
yeah.
remember that show happening, and I remember hearing a lot of stuff about it. And then I watched the video back when it was launched on YouTube, and I think that probably really helped kind of kickstart what happened, especially with the Void and Dragged Under. Kind of helped them get a bit more of a push up in those earlier days. Because like I remember
Yeah, no, that show was fucking great.
oh, I bet. I really wish I was there. Like my very first like local Seattle show, I went and I saw Avoid, and they were playing with Osacea, No Home. It was Truth Under Attack's last show
Oh
that they were playing
yeah,
there. Yeah, that was a fucking
yeah.
awesome show, and that was like my first introduction into like the Seattle metalcore scene. And I remember feeling really self conscious because like Tragedy by Design had just formed, and I was just thinking to myself the whole time, I'm like, oh my God, my band fucking sucks compared to these guys. But
Oh man.
just I remember I was geeking out because after the show I went over to like the No Home booth and I was talking to those guys. I'm like, guys, you guys like made me fucking cry during your set. It was fucking awesome how great your show
Dude,
was.
Craig is emotional as fuck
He
on stage.
is. And then I was having a bit of a laugh with Gordon because I was talking about because at the time I think he was we were playing similar basses because I think that's when he was still playing with his Ernie Ball Stingray, and I had an Ernie Ball Stingray at the time, and I was kind of mentioning, hey, I got that same type of bass, and I was like, wow, there's another person in the scene that's as short as I am. So
Fuck. Yeah, dude, he's actually shorter than me, which is
I
funny
know,
because I'm like
like,
the shortest person in the Sacramento scene. I'm hella short, bro.
oh
I'm
shit,
five
how tall are
five.
you? Oh, I got 1 inch on you. I got an
Uh,
inch on you. Five
yeah. Oh,
six.
actually, no, wait. Uh, do you know the band A Waking Memory?
I can't say I'm familiar now.
Okay, well,
They from Sacramento? Or are
their
they up here? Or?
vocalist, yeah, they're from Sac.
Okay.
They're pretty well known, like in the deathcore community. But they, the band just kind of disbanded. They're gonna like regroup and make something else. Um, from what I've heard, not sure if that's actually happening or not.
Sounds like a deathcore band.
But yeah, the guys they've been that band's been around, I think, since they were like ending middle school, going into high school or something like that. It's been around for a long time.
Damn.
So they were like, you know what, this is all from when we were like way younger, like we want to grow up kind of thing and move on. Anyways, their vocalist Tyler Van Bogart, that motherfucker sounds like a fucking gorilla with a fucking beast man, dude. He's like probably like 4'3" or 4'4". He's shorter than me, but he fucking sounds like a fucking 10 foot tall man. Like, dude,
Shit.
he's
That name
vocally
sounds
probably one of the
familiar.
best people in the scene.
You said it was
Yeah,
Tyler,
Tyler,
or
he's Tyler
and it
Van
was like
Bogart.
Van
He's
Bogart. That sounds so familiar.
Dude, he's such a fucking sweetheart of a human being, and he's so gentle and he's so soft spoken. But when he gets on stage, man, he's like a whole other human. Kind of reminds me of Darius from Spite.
Yeah, it's always so interesting when you see those people that like their on stage persona and their off stage persona are just so wildly different. But then you also find those people that are exactly the same on stage as they are off stage. Um,
Yeah,
and I don't know which is weirder, because
I
you
feel
kind of
like
expect people to have that same sort of attitude when they're off stage, but it still kind of comes as a shock. We're like, wait a second, you're actually like that in real life. um,
you know what?
but
Good example, Jack Black.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I I had breakfast with him, and I hung out with him for like an hour and a half, 2 hours at a fucking Norms. It's kind of like a Denny's in LA, and we hung out and just talked, and he was so normal. Like he was so just like his movie characters that it was just so normal. And like I was not stage fright. I was like fan frightened, for like fucking 10 minutes. Like, oh my god, like I'm sitting having breakfast at fact. And then like after a while it was just so chill that it was just like normal dude, I still like he is such a genuine human being. Like, man, people like that are pretty fucking hard to come by these days.
yeah. It's always nice when you meet somebody that's like big and famous, and you just like, oh, this guy's actually just a really cool dude. I haven't met too many myself. I surprisingly haven't met too many famous people. I haven't even, met some of the big guys over in the Seattle scene. Like I've only maybe had a couple of hello conversations with Benny. I've never actually talked to Fluff or Jared Dines, but I did actually play Fluff's amp. Well, I didn't play Fluff's amp, but Tragedy by Design played on Fluff's amp when we recorded our EP. That's a fun story, actually. But yeah, most of the big names
I'm
in the
all
scene I
ears.
never really talked to, but yeah, I guess I should just blue ball you like that. So when TVD was first recording our EP, we went to this place called Blast Studios, and it was the same place Drag Dunder was recording their album. And Josh Wildhorn, who was
Okay.
still in Drag Dunder at the time, was our engineer for the album or the EP, and he did
Yeah.
all the tracking. And Fluff's 5150 was just chilling there in the room, and Josh was like, "Man, this is here and plugged in. Let's use it." And so all of our rhythm tracks for the guitars are all recorded using Fluff's very own 5150. And that same 5150 is the one that later got modeled into the Amped Roots plugin. So all of these people
Oh,
that are
that's cool.
using that free Amped Roots plugin, that amp is the physical amp that was made after we actually got to record with. So haha.
That that's cool. No, it's always nice being able to have like the the I don't want to say the physical story, but like the story of like, oh yeah, you fucking had to go buy this online. I fucking got to use this with my fucking hands. Like I got to physically touch it. It's tangible, you know.
Yeah, it's
So
always exciting. Like I'm itching to get back in the studio again. I got like we have a whole 10-song album in the works that we're just waiting
sick.
to finish up and get released out here soon. So I'm really excited.
So are you guys gonna do the singles game and then a full album release, or like two singles and then album release?
So when we did the EP, we did the whole single route where we released, every single song as a single. And then by the time we were on the last song, we're just like, okay, fuck it. We're just going to bundle it together as an EP and, call it that. And while the individual songs kind of had their own better run as we were kind of figuring out how the promotion game worked, because for the first couple singles we had no fucking idea how to promote our music. Like we were kind of just shooting it out into the ether saying, hey, here's our
Same.
music, listen to it or whatever. And we didn't really
Fucking same.
know anything, so we just wasted hundreds of dollars on fucking Facebook ads that did nothing. And we'd get
Oh
comments saying
no.
like, "Oh, when you order your Silverstein album off of Wish," and this other stuff, and we didn't really
Oh,
get anywhere with it. It wasn't until the EP actually was released, and then we got some advice from a couple of the bigger bands in the scene. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Sight Gang 666 at
no,
all.
I'm not.
You haven't heard? Oh man, okay, that's your homework after this. You got to go check out Sight King 666. Shout out to shout out to those guys. So Maisie, their guitarist, she was absolutely amazing in helping us. Like she's
Wait,
a
no,
real big
that
fan.
sounds. Is she okay? Like, I th- does she have black hair and she's kind of like she looks like an anime character, kind of?
Well, I mean, I think it's partly dyed, but yes,
Okay,
yeah,
I
she's
think I know who that is.
yeah, and I don't know if you know Michael Vanson. He's their vocalist, or King Zab, their bassist.
Maybe, maybe, because I think Austin's talked about them before.
Oh, I'm sure he's talked about them. They're popping off in the trap metal scene, and
Oh,
but
okay,
anyways,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know
yeah,
who that is.
yeah. So Maisie's their guitarist, and she was absolutely phenomenal with helping us figure out, like, hey, this is how you get your shit out there, and we were able to get on a couple pretty good playlists and just completely overhaul how many people were listening to us. Like we went from having maybe like 20 monthly listeners to a couple thousand for a while as we were staying on these playlists, and since then we've been hovering on a pretty consistent number, and we're just kind of feeling bad because we're like, oh shit, we got like all these people that listen to our music for a while, and now we have nothing to release yet because we still have to finish writing an album. And it just makes me feel
Yeah,
bad, but at the same time even more motivated to get out there and actually finish it, because I'm sure you might kind of relate to this, where it's like, when COVID first hit, all the shows get canceled and everybody's just sitting there at home with their thumbs up their ass, and you're just like, oh fuck, what are we going to do now? There's no shows. And so, first I was like, okay, let's, get writing. But the first, whole year of 2020, like I had like the worst fucking writer's block the whole goddamn year, and it just sucked. Um, wasn't able to meet up with the band, wasn't able to practice it. You're stuck staring at, an empty Logic project trying to figure out what the fuck to do. But
hmm
we were able to squeeze out about 10 songs so far now, with everybody all involved, especially now that we got some new members going on in that, and things are looking good now that we're actually able to rehearse again finally. So I'm just
yeah.
waiting
No,
for
I
that
feel you.
magical day that we can play shows.
Yeah, well, I mean, this year looks promising that it'll happen. But for 2020, it was like when it first initially hit, I was really sad, but I was like, you know what? We don't have anything planned right now anyway, so we'll ride this out. And so I wasn't that affected by it. More, I'm just kind of bummed out. And then we had to kick out our vocalist because he did something
Yeah.
stupid. And yeah, and so that like absolutely broke me. Actually fucking like the whole situation that happened, like, oh my god, I was absolutely fucking devastated. I was fucking brokenhearted, and I fucking like legit fucking cried because I was so fucking frustrated, and like it was the day before my birthday when like all this shit
Ooh.
happened. And so like yeah, dude, like it's a fucking shit storm, and I
Yeah.
fucking
Happy birthday to
man, I
you.
lost my shit. Yeah, right, dude. It was so bad. And yeah, I just remember that it just felt like every one of my friends or people I thought liked us or liked me or whatever, it felt like they all just fucking turned their fucking back. Like it was fucking nothing. Like it meant nothing. It was so easy for them to just be like, "Oh yeah, whatever, fuck you, dude. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck." And I'm just like, "Damn, like I thought we were fucking cool." Like there's a few of you guys that I've actually lent fucking money to because y'all were so fucking broke. And
Eek.
y'all like turn your
Yeah.
back like this quick on me, and I'm just like, damn, dude, like, fuck you guys, dude.
Yeah, no,
And
it's shitty. Like there's a lot of just snakes out there, and it's just it takes really only one chance for you to kind of realize, like, hey, this person's kind of a piece of shit, and I don't want to deal with them anymore, and just like be like, yo, bro, I don't fuck with you. And there's thankfully not that many people I found up here in Seattle, but the few that I have, I steer way the fuck clear of, and just like, I want nothing to do with you. um
yeah, but in that after that kind of like after that we were we've been seeking. Well, during that time we were also trying out a new bass player and a new fucking drummer, and the bass player that we were trying out brought his drummer up from where they live. Well, okay, so the bass player lived in like a different area and was like, "Oh yeah, my drummer lives in LA." And I was like, "Fuck, dude, that's like a hella far." And he's like, "Yeah, but he's hella good." And I was like, well, sure, like, why not? He could come up and jam with us, I guess. So a week later, he fucking comes up, and the motherfucker already knows our songs, like fucking to a
Damn.
click track, knows our set. Yeah, and I mean, I gave him about I think I remember giving him like an 85%, like I was like, dude, you get like an 85% because not only did you know the songs and you only had a week to practice, but like, damn, that's really good. Like you fucked up a lot, but at the same time, like you knew like pretty much 85% of everything, so it was really great. Um, so there was like some light of hope of like, okay, well, like this is still kind of like holding together, and then that shit fell apart with that bass player dude, and I was like, he said some shit that really angered me. Um, and so I was like, you know what, like, peace out, dude. Like, I hope you fucking, prosper in life. Like, I don't want to fucking deal with you. And then Austin, literally is just fucking up my ass about fucking being in the band. So I talked to
Sounds like him.
our other guitar player. Yeah, I talked to our guitar player Hector, and other guitar player Hector, and me and him were talking. And we all know Austin and stuff, because Austin's like flown out to two of our bigger shows. Um, and yeah, Hector was like, look, he's like, as long as he's fucking cool and fucking can play and he doesn't do anything stupid like what other past members have done, then I'm down. And I was like, all right, cool, I'm down. So I messaged Austin. I was like, yeah, dude, we're down if you could fucking hang. And that's how Austin got in the band.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was
I remember
persistent.
he was like shitting himself, going like, oh my god, I got in the fucking band. And, he was sharing all that with us because I think that was just after he'd moved down there from Seattle.
Yeah.
Because yeah, he was up here for a while, and he's been to many of our shows. I mean, he's the one that convinced me to come on here. Um, but yeah, he's done some art stuff for us. Like he our current cover photo was made by him. But yeah, I think gave him some suggestions to find some lefty basses for him because he
Yeah.
was playing a right-handed bass upside down, and I was just looking at that going, oh man, how do you do that?
Yeah,
It
it's
just
funny because
feels so weird trying to looking at somebody playing a bass upside down. I'm just like, how the fuck do you do that? But
yeah,
he
well, it's
made it
funny.
work.
Yeah, well, see, that's what's funny about it is that he well, in our songs we have drop A and we have drop C songs. So when he's switching out guitars, so he's like on some of them, like because he has a left-handed guitar, so he uses his left-handed for the 4, and then when he has to switch to the 5 string, it's right-handed, so he has to flip it upside down. So he's like holding on two guitars at the same time, so he could just.
I mean,
But
hey,
I
if
mean,
that works, it fucking
yeah,
works.
yeah,
It's
but
actually kind of
you're
cool.
yeah. Well, with you're talking about like you know, you had to travel a bit for the other band that you had to recently leave. Our drummer, we accepted that guy as a drummer, and he lives in LA. So like, it's a fucking mission. We fly him out sometimes to jam with us, or
Fuck.
we go down to him. But it's really not that bad because the thing is all of us practice on our own, and so every time we come together, it's a little rusty the first times we go through the set just because I feel like that's normal for every band. Um,
Right.
but then after that, we're like fucking on it. Um,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
always good. Um, Definitely always make sure you guys know your ship. Always, you should always be practicing on your own. Like any band that's not doing that, they're fucking up. Like especially I remember like in the early days of when Tragedy by Design first formed, we were auditioning our first round of some potential lead guitarists. Just the amount of people that were just they did not know anything, and we even were just like, hey, learn a couple cover songs, and that way you don't have to try and learn original material. And even some people couldn't even do that. And it was baffling that some of these people were especially talking like some really big game, like, oh yeah, I'm the fucking best guitar player ever, but then they can't play OG Loco by Mice and Men. Like, come on.
dude, you know what? I'm not that good a guitar player. I'm really not. I just I play with what I know, and that's it. I've never ever thought. I've never had a big head. I've never nothing of that sort of being like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking good guitarist, dude. I think I'm like, you know what? I'm a fun performer to watch, but I am very mediocre at guitar. I know a couple
Ah,
Bring Me the Horizon songs. and I know the riff for Fat Lip by Sum 41. Um, I know a little bit of Master of Puppets. A little
Who
bit of
doesn't? Who doesn't know a little bit of Master of Puppets? Like, I mean, that's isn't that like baby's first, guitar tab? You know?
kind of. Well, actually, no. It's the it's fucking
Oh,
raining blood.
Slayer.
Yeah. Does it say so? I
Fucking
mean,
Slayer!
yeah. I mean, I'm not the best guitarist, but I mean, I know a couple licks that are fun. Oh, you know what? I know a couple spite things, but those little. That's because that's like a lot of just one open, 3 4 4, one open, 3 2 3, or like shit like
Yeah.
that. Um,
Like, I'm amazed. Like, a lot of times I'll pick up a guitar, so I'll be like, oh, show me something to play that you can play. And I'm just fucking gears turning in my brain going, fuck, I don't really know that many songs. I suck.
yeah, you're like I could play
Um,
something that's my band's, but I can't play.
yeah,
I can't play Sweet Child of Mine.
like how does Wonderwall go again?
Fuck.
Sweet ass
Wait.
fun. So the
You're like,
content filter picks you up.
yeah, it's like, hold on, wait. This isn't drop A, so wait, how do I convert this to standard?
You just lose the bottom string.
Like, very true.
I mean,
No, no, that's well. Also, I think it depends on how many strings the
you
guitars that you're
play drop A
holding.
in 6 strings or 7.
I have a drop A in 7, and I have a drop A on 6, and then I have
Ah,
two other sixes that are in drop C.
gotcha. I'm gonna turn a light on real quick. It's getting dark in my little dungeon.
You're
There
all
we go.
good.
That's better.
So tell me a bit because I don't really know you at all. All I know is your name and that's about it, and the fact that you're in
Yeah.
Tragedy by Design. So tell me about the band. Tell me about where you guys came from. All that good
Oh
stuff.
man. Oh, this is a story, and I'm probably the best person to talk to about that because I was there from the very beginning. So I guess I'll start from the beginning. So I'm just, chilling in my bedroom, just doing nothing. Right. I just moved into my own apartment and, I have my guitars and my basses and I'm just, farting around making some really, really fucking pretentious prog rock in my bedroom. And I just get this random
Yeah.
message from this dude, and he's like, "Yo, man, I see you got a King Gizzard of the Lizard Wizard sticker on your profile picture." Which at the time I had the little toxic dude from Flying Microtonal Banana as my profile picture thing there. I don't know if you're familiar with them at all, but great band if you don't
No
know them.
idea.
Um, King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. Never forget that name. They're a great band. But anyways, he hits me up. He's like, "Oh, you play bass and you did King Gizzard, dude? Let's fucking come and jam. I'm a drummer." And so I show up to this dude's house and we jam around for a bit. I show him some of my really pretentious ass stuff that I've been writing. Being so proud and full of myself. Like, oh yeah, look at me. I can write a song that has fucking 17 time changes in it. And he's like, "Oh man, that's really cool, but like, let's try doing something a little bit, more accessible." And I'm like, "Okay, sure, whatever, I'm down." And then he was then later saying, "Actually, I kind of want to play guitar instead." And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh man, this dude's a really, really good drummer, but like, how is he on guitar?" He riffed around a couple times, but I don't really know as much of his skill level as on the drums. But thankfully, he worked at this place up in Soto in Seattle, and he met this drummer who worked at a pizza place across the street, and he was like, "Oh, dude, I met a drummer," and I was like, "Oh, sick. Okay, well, let's see if he's good." So Brandon, which was his name, the guitarist, brings over Derek, who's a drummer, and so we all get together, we jam around for a bit, and just Derek and I lock like fucking glue, and everything was going absolutely amazing. And so then Brandon's like, "Oh, hey, I have this old buddy from high school of mine who he's a fucking great singer, and he is looking for a new project." So he then invites him over, and his name's Evan. We all show up, and Evan's like, "Hey, I know this song. Let's play it." And we had started the infamous OG Loco train. So we played OG Loco by Mice Men as all of us together, and
Nice.
it just all fit together really nicely. And so we're like, "Okay, well, shit, this seems like the starting of a band here. Like we got a full, at least a 4-piece at the time. Just bass, drums, rhythm, and vocals." And so Evan was saying, "Oh, hey, I have a couple songs that, were," because his old band went on hiatus for a while, and they had a couple of songs that were left over that they weren't using. So Evan was like, hey, I got, a handful of songs that we can, use and work on. And he showed us the songs. Everybody, loved them. We later wrote some lyrics for them because they were all instrumentals at the time. And then we had this full, couple songs already lined up there. And we're like, well, shit, we need a lead guitarist. So we toss out some Craigslist ads and some ads over like Facebook, and we get, a couple people that show up. Some of them are, they're pretty good, not the best, but there's two people that really stood out during the rehearsals. One who was really fucking bad, and then one who was really fucking good. This guy who was really fucking bad, he insisted that we call him Azrael, as in like, the fallen angel Azrael. And he just like refused to go by anything else. And when we were telling him like, hey, our practice space is up in Kent, he's like, oh, Kent, I know that place. I blacked out there once. I'm just like, okay, this guy's already giving us some wacky vibes. And his profile picture was like him with some like Bullet for My Valentine stuff and like a fucking Squire guitar. And I'm just like, oh, this dude's a real winner. And then he shows up for his first tryout. And, we were telling him before he showed up, like, oh, hey, dude, do you know the songs? You got them all down, because we had two covers that we asked everybody to learn, which was OG Loco by Mice Men and My Life for Hire by Day to Remember. And then we gave them the tabs for one of our originals, or maybe two, I can't remember. But our one song, I know one for sure was Perception. We gave everybody tabs for. And like, hey, learn this. And, we could try it out. And I think we gave them, I don't remember if it was Oath Speaker or Around Midnight, but I think it was probably Oath Speaker that we gave as the second song to learn. So anyways, this Azrael dude shows up, and we're just like, okay, dude, you know the songs. He's like, oh yeah, dude, I got this, man. He goes through the set, and he's just fucking blows it. Like, he's out of tune half the time, and he's just like trying to watch Brandon going like, okay, what's this guy doing? How do you fucking play this? And halfway through, we're just like, hey, dude, I thought you said you got the songs. And he's like, oh, well, I know them, but like, I don't like have them mastered. And he's just trying to make it seem like, oh, he just needs more time and stuff. And we're just like, okay, dude, whatever. Like, get the fuck out of here. But like, we wanted to still give him, that second tryout, because we're wanting to be fair. We're like, okay, we can give him a second chance, right? So the day for his second tryout shows up, and all of us are at the practice space. We're just sitting there like waiting for this dude to show up, and he never fucking shows. Like, we called him, we left him a couple messages, and then we're just like, okay, fuck it, I guess he's not showing up. But then we get a text message like maybe 2 hours later saying, oh shit, I just fucking woke up, I overslept, oh god, fuck, please, like, let me come and try out. Like, I'm so sorry, I'll bake you cookies if you let me try out again. And
what the heck?
I know, it's just, the dude was like begging to let us give him a second chance. So we're just like, dude, just fuck off. Like, come on, really? you spent like a whole time after the tryout, when we were asking you like the questions like, hey, what do you do for work? What do you like to do outside of music? Because like, when it comes to finding a new band member, it's not about just finding somebody who can play. It's finding somebody who you can like be chill with and be actual friends with outside of, shows and all that. So dude was talking about how, oh yeah, I get fucking wasted all the time, and I get blacked out, and he plays like the whole big rock star shtick when like the dude can't even play guitar. Like, I don't know, it's like he thinks he's like the fucking reincarnation of Kurt Cobain or something. I have no idea. But so we end up just kind of ghosting this guy, and we're just like, okay, whatever. And then a couple weeks, or maybe it was a couple months later, our vocalist Evan gets a text message on his phone, because he was stupid enough to accept a friend request from this guy. And he was like, it took him like maybe 6 months for us to convince him to open this message, because he just left him on like unread for like forever. And he opened it up, and it was this dude saying, oh, I'm really sorry that like wasted opportunity, you guys had like so much potential. And we're just like, who are you to say anything about potential? Like, come on, dude. anyways, that's the song of Asriel. And to this day, in our group chat that everybody's in for our band, like everybody has their nickname set to Asriel. And so every
Oh
time
my
we get like
god.
every time we get a new message in our band chat, it says Asriel sent a message. And that's
All
kind of
right.
our big inside joke.
All
But
right.
anyways,
I gotta check
oh,
mine now, and so I need to tell you what our band nicknames are, because this is my favorite thing. So, I can't say specific member names because this will give away certain members. So,
okay.
it's one of us is War Turtle, kind of like the
War
Pokemon, but
Turtle?
it's yeah, but
Okay.
it's spelled like differently. Austin, I'll tell you, Austin named himself some random ass bitch. And then we
Yeah,
have
just showed up from
somebody.
Seattle being like, "What up, bitches? I'm in the band now."
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I don't even know why, but there's a Charmeleon, and then there's me. Somebody named me Charizard, and then it's our and then it's our other one of our other members named just Hugo.
Hugo.
Fuck. I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know. Austin. It's between Austin and Hector. They always change their fucking names all the time.
I mean, at least it's kind of a compliment if you're Charizard and somebody else is Charmeleon. At least that means you're an evolution of them. Like,
Who the fuck is Charmander though? We don't have a Charmander.
I don't know. You make set Austin's fucking nickname the Charmander. Then I don't know.
No, I like his name. He called himself a bitch ass. So that makes me laugh.
Makes me laugh.
Wait, let me see. He named
Um,
himself, yeah, some random ass bitch. I'm gonna change Ugo's to Charmander.
there you go. Do it.
I'm
Hell
gonna
yeah.
change Hector's to Mega Charizard. Mega Charizard X, and then I'm gonna change Austin's to Mega Charizard Y.
There you go. Beautiful.
Are you into Pokemon at all?
Oh man, so I used to play a lot of it when I was a kid, but I just was the type of person that like had like one single Pokemon, and that was my one thing. Like I remember I was playing Diamond back in like elementary school, and I was just fucking smashing everything with my Staraptor, and that was like the only Pokemon I ever fucking used. And I have like a handful of Pokemon games just lying around here if they're in the same tin as my guitar picks. I guess
Dude,
I
I
just dumped picks over my counter for no reason. But like I haven't really played a Pokemon game since since Diamond. I mean, I have like Omega Ruby, or no, Alpha Sapphire. I have a copy of that and I played a little bit of it, but like ah man, I haven't been in Pokemon for a while. And like I have buddies that like get so deep in like EV training and shit, and they're talking to me, and I'm just like, are we talking about the same game that I used to play as a kid? Like, what the fuck is all of this Eevee shit? Like, what? I don't. It's
yeah
just too much. I'm
yeah
stupid.
no
I'm
I
bass player. Like, I can't handle any of
No, you can't. Okay, sorry. So we kind of got off about Pokemon and came up with me. So the Israel's era has ended, and then where'd you guys go from there?
that. Next, we get the Chuckles, Mr. Charlie Garcia himself. So he shows up for practice, and I actually kind of knew of him already because his band that he is like, I don't know if he'd say it's a solo project or like a main thing that he had. He has this band called Iron Krill. That's kind of like an early at the gates core style metalcore thing. Very influenced by stuff like As I Lay Dying and whatnot. Like they actually one of the
Okay.
back before the whole Tim Lambesis stuff went down. There was like a remix contest for some As I Lay Dying stuff, and Iron Krill actually won the contest, and they are included on the iTunes bonus track list of some. I don't remember which album it was, but anyway, so I remember seeing a couple of years back that there was an ad on Craigslist that Charlie had posted saying he's looking for a bassist for Iron Krill, but like I was too much of a chicken shit to audition for him at the time because this was like maybe 2014 when I was like still in high school and still like fucking sucked at bass. So I was
Damn.
like, oh, Iron Krill, that sounds familiar. And then Charlie shows up. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I do. I do know that band. And I was listening to him. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's see how this guy turns out. He seems like he knows his shit. Shows up, and everything just gelled perfectly. Like everything was just amazing, on point. And I'm just like, damn, like I haven't felt this sort of like this sort of a vibe in like a group of people in a really long time. So there was no question that he got the spot. Like kind of everybody else, even the people that still did kind of good, were like, hey, you know, don't want to tell you didn't get the spot, but like, you know, they didn't get the spot. But Charlie was just a shoo-in from the start. And literally the next week, I think we went and took our first round of band photos. Derek's buddy did the photos for us, and they turned out pretty good. We had those as our like cover photo for a while, and we've definitely kind of changed a bit of our aesthetic since then, because when we first started, we were wanted to be like, oh, we're a Seattle band, so everybody's got to wear fucking flannels and jeans and shit, and it's definitely not like that anymore. So yeah, that was the first like main lineup of TBB. We recorded our EP with that lineup. We played almost all of the shows that we played with that, and that ran us through pretty much to the end of 2019. And then later, Brandon decided to step away from the band due to some mostly creative differences, and he had his own personal stuff going on. So, you know, he's got some new stuff working up right now that him and his wife are doing, and it's fucking awesome. I don't want to spoil too much of it, like, or really any of it, because it hasn't been announced yet. But ooh, I'm looking forward to seeing that release.
Well, it's announced now.
Well, not formally. Like I didn't
The
say
next
anything
Spirit
really
Box.
specific, but possibly. But so after that, we spent a while, you know, trying to figure out, okay, who do we, you know, find to replace him. And then Evan was like, hey, so my former lead guitarist in my old band, Corbin, he's looking to get back into music again. Because originally the reason why Evan's old band had gone on hiatus was because I don't know all of the reasons, but part of it was Corbin was wanting to go back to school. So Corbin was like, hey, you know, I want to try doing some music again. And Corbin was also, you know, partly there, even in some of the early days, because Evan's old band, we kind of had used some of their older songs from that they weren't, you know, using. Obviously, they got all shelved because the band went on hiatus. So Corbin shows up, he learns all the songs, plays them, nails the audition, obviously gets the spot pretty much on the spot. And so we go from that for a while. We write a couple songs with that lineup. And then later, around summer of last year, Charlie decided to step away from the band for a lot of his own reasons, and, you know, very modest reasons, actually. Like, I'm, you know, props to him. I mean, I personally didn't quite agree with the reasons that he left the band, but, you know, he was basically saying, hey, I feel like I'm kind of holding you guys back, and I'm just like, dude, you're a fucking great guitarist, what the hell are you talking about? But he's off working on more Iron Krill, and it's going absolutely amazingly. Like, I've been listening to some of the new stuff. He's been messing with this like microtonal stuff. Like, you know how a normal guitar has like 12 frets? He just got a custom made guitar that has like what was it, like 30 something frets, like, no, maybe more like 40 frets, like
arms.
Well, it's the same scale length. Like, it's the same scale length as a normal guitar, but like instead of half step frets, it's quarter step frets. So there's like frets in between the original frets. Yeah, it's I guess, I don't know, but like, if you do you know about Halo custom guitars? You ever heard of them?
I think so. I think I saw them at NAMM, to be honest. I don't remember.
Yeah, like they're a custom luthier, and they actually posted photos of the custom guitar that Charlie just had made on their Facebook page, and I had to like double take at it because I'm like, holy, how many frets are on that fucking thing? But yeah, he's been getting real into microtonal stuff, which really itches my fancy, because it's just like, ooh, I like the microtonal stuff. Yeah, so Charlie's off doing Krill, and then we were without a rhythm and lead. Like, well, Corbin went from rhythm to lead because Corbin always wanted to do lead guitar. So Corbin moved over to lead guitar, and then COVID kind of was in the middle of the full swing, so we kind of didn't really have anything to do for a while. We were just like, okay, we're working on some new music, and, you know, half of our band is locked in their fucking basements because, you know, the ones of us that still lived with their parents weren't really allowed out. So for the longest time, it was just me and Derek meeting up and playing the songs, you know, just drums and bass. And we were just kind of thinking for a while, like, how long can we keep this up? Just bass and drums. Like, we got our parts down, but like, it's not really a full band practice. So we kind of just decided towards the end of 2020, like, hey, let's kind of just, you know, take a break for a while because there's not really anything going on. 2021 rolls around, and the first part, we're like, okay, let's really start trying to find a new rhythm guitarist. And I had a couple
Yeah.
people in mind that were in the local scene that I knew would be good fits, but there was one person in particular that I reached out to, and out of all the people that I sent tabs to, he's actually the only person to have actually responded to me and actually took the time to learn it and show up for an audition. And his name was Tristan. And so Tristan learned the songs, did a fucking kick-ass job with the first tryout, and he's in the band now, and things are going absolutely fucking awesome. He even's already contributing to the writing process, and he's already got, you know, a full writing credit with the album on that. And we're all working on practicing together now, and we're actually able to meet up in a single room and play with the full band for like the first time in well over a year. And it just feels so great that we can actually finally now get moving into doing this whole process. And essentially that's kind of where we're at now, and that's really just a TLDR when it comes to TBD's like lineup history, and I guess just overall history. I mean, I could kind of go into some details about some shows that we've played, but a lot of those aren't really the most interesting stories aside from maybe a couple. But like,
So where did the name come from?
it's so Tragedy by Design. It was actually a name that was picked out by Brandon. Actually, he kind of had that name in his pocket for a while before the band had even started, but I had no idea what the actual meaning of it was for a while, and I kind of like ascribed my own like personal meaning of it. I'm like, oh, you know, trying to make it all philosophical, like, oh, Tragedy by Design is meant to like symbolize how like all of life is like purposely like meant to be like just suffering, and like no matter what you do, like,
Fucking
you know, some
emo.
nihilist shit, you know.
So
Yeah, like
emo.
emo nihilist nonsense. And then later I found out, no, he just took it from a 12-foot ninja lyric.
Oh my
So
god.
so yeah, the name of the band comes from a 12-foot ninja song, and I honest to God can't even remember what fucking song it is because I don't really listen to 12-foot ninja that much. But
Same.
yeah, that's where the band name comes from. And then yeah, that's really where that comes, where that all comes from, and that's where
Yeah, I
we're at
kind of
with
get
that.
the feel like we got lucky. So our old drummer Ugo, he left the band to be a dad because his wife was having a kid. So no hard feelings for any of us. We were like, hey, you know what, dude? Like that's fine. That's awesome. Like I'm not gonna hold you back. Like
Oh
go
yeah,
do
yeah,
your
no,
dad thing. And but he
exactly.
told us he was like, he's like I still want to be in the band. He's like I just can't go touring, and I can't play every show. I just need you guys to understand. Like I just need to be a dad. So we were like, dude, that's completely fine. Like if you still want to be in the band and write songs, like and play with us and jam, like we could totally keep moving forward. We'll find another drummer that's full time, but you know, when you want to jam or whatever and he can't, then it's like, you know, we have two drummers almost essentially. And then, well, when like literally, like I'm talking about fucking 2 weeks later, that's when Steven, our current drummer, showed up and Ugo was at our house jamming and he watched us jam through our set and he was like, we were like, dude, we got our fucking drummer. Like, there you go, Ugo. You
Oh
don't gotta
yeah,
like stress out. So
there you
yeah,
go.
so that was 2019, and then so when we were dealing with all this, trying to find a new vocalist situation going on, because so we have a song called 7 Days of Reckoning that he actually sings on. So when we played shows, he would play drums and sing. And now, you know, like I said, we've been looking for a new vocalist or whatever. And so when you're talking about like, oh yeah, like, you know, you write tabs and you have to like teach another member or teach somebody new something, that's where we're at, is that I'm teaching, because I reached out to Ugo and I was like, yo dude, like we need a singer, and I know you wanted to play guitar for us originally, before Hector switched to guitar, because Hector used to play bass and then he switched to guitar with me because um yeah, like so guitar is me and Hector, and then or no, I was guitar, I'm guitar, and Hector was bass. That's how it was forever. And then we got another guitarist, John. John quit, and we were like, fuck, like we don't know any other guitarist that's as good as John, because our old guitarist John was like fucking Megadeth solo shit, Metallica, like
Ooh,
thrash fast, like crazy. Yeah, and then Hector though could keep up with that. Hector's really good, so I was like, okay, it makes sense. Like, let's find another bass player or backtrack bass and just have him like lead guitar. So we did that, and then you know, like I said, with us kicking out our vocalist and us trying to find a new vocalist, and we're going through all these members, and it's just not members. We're going through all these tryouts for so long, and now we're at a point of like we finally got a new person, but now it's like it's a combination of, okay, Ugo, I reached out to you because I want you to sing for us, but I also want you to play guitar while you sing. And he was like, dude, I'm fucking down. He was like, I am honored. I was like, all right, cool. So it's really great because I have to teach him all the songs he already knows,
just on a different instrument.
Yeah, but he's also going to be singing. So now moving forward, it's cool because we're doing a whole new revision of the band. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure Austin probably told you about some of the shit that we're dealing with or going through, but this next level is really fucking like nerve-wracking because we don't know what it's going to sound like. I mean, we do because we have like our own, like, I mean, I record like different things, and like, I'm like also like sending tracks to the guys like, hey, like, look at this lick and this idea that I have. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a hassle, but it's nice when they fucking pick it up really quick. Like you were saying, like Tristan, right? He's, fucking learned the shit, and now he's in the band full time. It's great. And that's where we're at, is that it's literally only been like 2 weeks since we've talked to Ugo, and he already like knows all the guitar to all the songs.
Sweet. Nice. Yeah. And I mean, like, especially like when you're saying, like, when it comes to writing new material, like, and you're not really quite sure what the sound is, and it's like, you guys already have like an EP and an album out, like, and a lot of the things is like, you don't want to depart too much from what, your fans and stuff are already kind of used to, but, maybe go in some other direction, but still kind of keep that initial, like, the feel, I guess I would say, or some form of similar vibes. Like, you don't want to, completely 180 your style. Like, you don't want to have like, oh, this album's, really fucking heavy, and the next thing, oh, we're making, pop punk the next album. So like,
yeah, well, it's more like we have to kind of like, because we wrote music that worked around our old vocalist's voice. So now that we have a new screamer, we have to adjust to his voice, and it's not the same as our old vocalist. So it's like, it's not too far off, but it's also not the same. So now we have to kind of like try to fit, like, to make it work. I mean, it's working, but we got to just, take some more time.
Because I listen to your guys' stuff quite a bit, and like your old vocals had more of a throatier, more guttural type scream to his voice, and that's definitely like, that one was unique enough that I'm like, yeah, I'm not really sure how somebody else might be able to replicate that, because that's one of the more unique screams that I've heard recently. I'm used to hearing more of the more fry type, the more higher pitched ones. I don't hear many like primarily low screamers anymore, at least not outside of like deathcore and stuff like that, where that's kind of the vibe. But I don't think you guys necessarily fit fully into like a deathcore like genre style.
Not
like
even close.
Yeah, it's just like it was really hard for me to try and pinpoint like how do I describe your guys' genre. It's like, and that's kind of what I like about it, is that like you can't really say, for instance, like, okay, there's metalcore, there's deathcore, and then there's like this weird ether in between, and you guys are kind of like in there. And
it's, well, that's what I'm saying, like, why we brought back our old drummer. Well, technically he's gonna be not our old drummer, he's just a member in the band, is because, like I said, he wrote the metalcore song that we had, 7 Days of Reckoning. And so there's a new single that we're working on, and we're gonna put it out next. It's called Legion, and he actually helped me write that, because I was originally showing him like the riffs for it, and I was like, yeah, I want it to sound like this and this, and he was like, oh, well, then you're gonna want to play it like this. And I was like, all right, cool, like, thanks for teaching me how to play the riff that I had in my mind, so now I could play this riff when we're playing the song.
And, thank you for teaching me my own song.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so it's funny because I honestly, like, as soon as I asked him and he said yes, I was like, oh my god, thank God, because we're gonna be able to continue moving forward with a familiar voice in the band, a new voice, but also a familiar voice, and that's something that I think will help people that were fans of us before the situation that happened with us, that are gonna be like, okay, look, they still have the one of the voices on it that is original, and
Yeah,
that member's still making music for the band, and the other members that have been writing songs since day one are still in the band. So you know it's gonna be different, but we're moving forward, and it's
yeah, no,
hard in a way, but it's yeah.
yeah, I get it. Like it's kind of a similar thing with Not Till Tomorrow. Like, I was their front man for, about almost 2 years. And, they have two singles
Damn.
out on Spotify that have me on there as the vocalist. And, now that I'm not in the band anymore, I had, a couple songs recorded for the EP, and I was intending to finish the whole recording process and be like, hey, I kind of obligated myself to, record this stuff. It's the least I can do is at least finish the EP. But
Yeah.
kind of it was decided that, their bass player is going to move over to do vocals, and they're going to try and find a new bassist. And they're like, we're just going to go ahead and just record the whole EP with, this guy on vocals. No, nothing personal to you, but, that whole thing of like, hey, we want people to be, familiar with the vocalist. If we have a release with you on the vocals, and then we have a whole new album coming out later with somebody else different, it's kind of going to turn some heads, but also kind of maybe disappoint a couple of people that are like, oh, hey, we really like John's vocals, but now, Thomas is doing vocals, and, figure, hey, if we can just have Thomas do vocals for everything, then, hey, that makes things better, kind of avoid that whole, Austin Carlisle changing over to Caleb Shomo type, deal. Because I know a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
people that like they're like, Someday Came Suddenly is the fucking best album ever, but for the self-titled fucking sucks. It really creates really strong opinions, and I'm over here saying, oh, it's all great. I own the whole Attack Attack discography on vinyl. I'm just like, I love every single one of it. Like,
I'll be
I
honest
used to
with you.
hate
I
it in
feel
high
like,
school, but like, I love it now.
dude, every band that ever replaces the vocalist and then they release a self-titled record, they're never good. They're
Well, I
then
mean,
so
the
it's
Attack
like
Attack self-titled is good.
with when it was just Caleb or just Austin.
That was when I think they still had. I don't think if it was just Caleb yet. I'd have to look it up. I think it was
I
just
was
Caleb
never an
on.
Attack Attack fan, so I don't know anything about that band.
I am a
I
more
was
recent
still
fan.
into. Oh yeah, no, I was like into Slayer around when Attack. I was like, bring me Slayer, Metallica, Ask Alexandria,
Yup.
and A Day to Remember. Dude, have you
So,
ever heard Have you ever heard the Day to Remember how they got their band name
oh, how did
story?
they? No, I
Oh
haven't.
my god! So they were trying out I think it was either it was a drummer or a guitarist. I'm pretty sure it was a guitarist. Yeah, it was a guitarist, and they were trying him out, and the guy brings his half stack over and everything, and I guess he sucked. Like he was terrible. Um, and he left all of his gear at the house. I
Oof.
think it was at Jeremy's parents' house. He just left it all there in their fucking their barn, and because that's where they jammed. And then they were just like, and the guy, I guess he was in the band for a couple days, and then the guy just kind of like stopped talking to them, didn't talk to them anymore or anything. So they and then when he finally got back to them, they were like, nah, dude, come get your shit. Like we don't want you in the band. And then they fucking named their band A Day to Remember because he came up with the name A Day to Remember, and they kept it. And they were like, "You're out, fuck you." I'm
Nice.
like, "That's
That's like
fucked
the
up, bro."
yeah, that's the ultimate fuck you move. Like, damn. Yeah, there's so much stuff about like the whole metalcore scene that I'm like still discovering to this day because back in my high school days when metalcore was first like popping off, like I was that true metal kid. Like if it's not Slayer, or if it's not Testament, Metallica, Megadeth, all of that. Like if it's not 80s thrash metal, it fucking sucks. It's poser trash. And I remember when the Stick Stickly video was like going around doing its viral sweeps. And I remember I was just like, oh, this is the fucking worst shit ever. Like, who the fuck would listen to this? And flash forward, you know, a couple of years later, it's like maybe a couple months ago, and I pulled up the Stick Stickly video. I'm like, wait a second, why do I have this disliked? I'm like, oh, that's right, I disliked it like in fucking 2013, and now I fucking own the shit on vinyl and I fucking love it. But like, you know, I didn't really get into metalcore like until I joined TVD. Like, I was trying to be some like progressive metal, like Opeth worship type shit, you know, Dream Theater, Symphony X, and all of these like uber, you know, not necessarily all of them are pretentious, but like the fans are often very pretentious, you know, like Tool as well. Like, you know, I was wanting to be like in that type of a music, that kind of a band, and make that type of music. But yeah, there's not really much of a commercial space for that much anymore. And so I was eventually convinced, hey, you know, just play fucking metalcore. And ever since then, I'm just like, I'm discovering a new band like every other week now, that I'm just like getting like, ooh, there's another band I like. Ooh, there's another band I like. And there's, you know, all of the really older ones that like kind of don't exist anymore, that I've just been just really digging into. I'm like, how did I not like this as a teenager? This is like exactly what I would have liked, but I never gave it the light of day because I just dismissed it all as poser trash. So
fuck. Wait, so are you the same age as Austin?
I don't even know how old Austin is. So I'm just about to turn 24 this year. So I have no idea. I think I'm maybe a little older than Austin. I don't know.
I turned 29 in July.
Ooh. Hey, I turned 24 in July,
so I'm old, man.
July babies.
Oh, when's your birthday?
July 2nd.
I'm the 14th.
I think one of my cousins is on the 14th. I don't know. There's a lot of July birthdays in my family. It's weird. It's like everybody gets it on during Halloween, and then, you know, 9 months later.
Yeah, it's funny because when I remember when I figured out that my parents conceived me in October, or in around Halloween, I asked my dad. I mean, I was just fucking with him, but I was like, "Hey, in 1991, what was Mom wearing for Halloween?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Never mind, never mind."
Oh no!
And he was like, "I don't understand." I was like, "Well, whatever it was, it brought me to life."
Nice. That's.
I mean, I really don't want to know what she was wearing, but it was just making a funny joke because it's like, whatever it was, it made me come to life.
Never ask your parents the circumstances of your birth, because then you'll find out some shit. Like, I found out that I was apparently the one missed birth control pill, and you know, that's what I found out. I'm like, oh,
fuck.
That's interesting. Had you know, the delivery not been a day late, I might not exist. That's kind of a interesting thought. So
yeah, that's literally 50-50 chance.
Yeah, it's, you know.
Well, I know.
I mean, it worked out. You know, worked out in the end, but I'd rather be here than not.
No, I agree. All right, so something I'd like to ask all of my. Wait, have you listened to my podcast before?
Yes, and I know exactly what you're about to ask me. And I've spent my what?
Your favorite color?
Oh, what? Shit! I didn't know this was gonna be. It's green, but my favorite color is green.
Is it green? Is it like? Is it like this little avocado green?
Kind of, more like my 5-string bass green.
Ooh, that's green. Looks blue.
It's the camera. Everybody says it's cyan, but no, it's seafoam green. But like, you know,
it looks also cyan,
like, you know,
cyan,
Ernie Ball green.
That's
you know, just
green.
money green. Like, here I got this one. Is this green enough?
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah,
I saw that at NAMM in 2019.
It's like a cheap, like $100 Dean bass. Like, I think there's one that comes in like hot pink as well. Like, even my bass picks, even those are green.
Fuck, my favorite color is cream.
Cream?
I don't know why. Cream.
Interesting.
It's just a rich color Yeah. Okay. So no, I know. I'm glad that you knew what I was gonna ask. But yeah, what are your top three favorite breakdowns?
All right. So yeah, I've been mulling this over for a while. So like first, I guess kind of in descending order. So like my third favorite breakdown, I would have to give to. They're not actually really a metalcore band, but like it's still a breakdown. It's Deliverance by Oketh. Um,
Oh,
it's like the
nice.
whole so it's like the whole song is like 13 fucking minutes, and it's like the whole last 3 minutes of the song is just this fucking heavy breakdown. And the thing that like really makes it stand out is the fact that it's in standard tuning, and it's still able to just carry
Okay, I
so
gotta
much
listen to
weight.
that.
Oh, dude, it's
13 fucking
top
minutes.
tier. 13 minutes,
Okay.
yeah. And it's like the whole last 3 minutes is this breakdown, and it's just so goddamn catchy. Um, and then second place, I was like, okay, I got to give this to August Burns Red, but I don't really know
Ooh.
which song I want to give it to. But
Okay.
after some like mulling it over, I'm like, okay, I got to go with like my first instinct, and I have to give it to the Seventh Trumpet.
Damn.
You
Really?
know,
Oh man. My
yeah,
top
I got to
one
give it to the
for.
Seventh
Uh,
Trumpet. You know,
have you listened to the new record though?
Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that on vinyl, man.
Dude, Blood Letter has the best breakdown, dude. Oh, the ending of
It's
it.
good, but like that's the thing. It's like I was trying to pick so many different ones. And I was like, I don't want to be the stereotypical dude. I don't want to be like, oh, you're a whitewasher, you know, something off of Constellations, because like everybody's going to pick something off of Constellations. Um, but I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go debut album. Just it has one of the most bone chilling like pre-breakdown lines. Like so many bands, like A Day to Remember, for instance, it was like disrespect your surroundings, or let's say like some fucking gimmicky
Yeah.
shit after before the breakdown. But like August Burns Red for like the Seventh Trumpet, they just have this really quiet like whisper before the breakdown. Like and the stars begin to fall, and it's just like oh fuck, and then like the whole next 2.5 minutes are just and yeah, I love it every single time. It just gives me chills. But something that gives me even more chills, and this was like undeniably, like I knew, like before even considering this question, like okay, I already know what my favorite breakdown of all time is, and another 13-minute epic, Between the Buried and Me, White Walls, like
Damn, I haven't
hands
heard that in a
down.
minute. Wow.
But you know that album though, right? Colors.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like
That came out
it's
in.
hand like
I was still in
2007,
high
I think
school
is
when
when it
that
came
came
out.
out. Yeah, it was
Oh
like right when I
shit!
was
Like
entering high school.
fuck. I'm really young then, because I think I was still in elementary school when that was released. But like Colors, hands down, is like my favorite album of all time. Like I don't think I've ever heard another album that has like given me that same level of like holy shit, this is amazing. Like just Between the Buried and Me, there's like there's my favorite bands, and then there's Between the Buried and Me. Like, and I know that sounds like a very typical Between the Buried and Me fan, because pretty much every Between the Buried and Me fan is like, I fucking love Between the Buried and Me. They're like the Tool fans of metalcore, It's just like
Wow.
it's like an unnatural level of worship for this band, and I kind of wear that on my sleeve. But like I know I'm fucking cringy, and I know that like I idolize this band way more than any person should idolize anything. But like
That's
they
okay.
kind of earn that, you know, like
Yeah.
just yeah. I've seen them only live twice now, but like both times they're just blow me away, and I'm still sad that I haven't had a chance to see White Walls live yet. But like someday I will.
Dude,
I bought VIP tickets for their latest tour, but that got canceled because of COVID, and I'm sad. But
yeah. I'm fucking obsessed with anything Bring Me pre. That's the spirit. I'm fucking obsessed with. I am obsessed with anything A Day to Remember pre Common Courtesy, and I am obsessed with anything. Well, no, not well. I love Common Courtesy. I guess pre.
well, that's
What was the record they had that came out?
the one
It
that
came
just
out
came
after
out.
Common Courtesy.
Isn't that
No, there's another one that came out.
There's another one. So they have Bad Vibrations.
Yeah, I didn't care for that. Anything before that was fucking prime amazing. Same thing with Bring Me. Anything before That's the Spirit was fucking prime amazing. Every
Okay.
record, every song on every record.
Hot
Like
hot
that's
take
the
though.
fan of music. Well, I love the EP though. The EP they put out is fucking great. The
Hot take though.
human survival. Yeah,
Hot take.
Hot Pocket.
Welcome. You're welcome. Wasn't that bad of an album. Like I actually, aside from like one
No.
song on that album, I liked You're Welcome. I'll be the first to say it. Like
No.
look, like I fucking jam out to like Looks Like Hell and Permanent. Like I fucking those are bops. Like I will jam that shit in my car all goddamn day. The only song on that album that I did not care for was I think was it Bloodsucker or Mind Reader? I don't remember. It's the one that was talk or no, fuck you. It was Fuck You Money. FYM. That's the one. That's the one that fucking sucked. All the rest of the songs on the album I liked. Just just saying, I
I don't
know it's
know.
a
I
hot take,
listened to
but
it
like
and I was like, I don't know. I'll have to listen to it again then maybe. Because you know what? When I listened to Common Courtesy the first time, I did not like it. I only liked Violence, Enough Is Enough, or whatever it is. And then almost like a year later, well, I'd say like less than a year later, I listened to the record again when I was on my drive to LA. And I fucking loved every song back to back. And I was like, what the fuck? Why am I just now loving this?
yeah, that was
So
that was
I'll
the
have to
same thing with
maybe, I
me.
don't know.
Same thing with me with like a Bullet for My Valentine, Temper Temper, when that came out in 2013. Like I remember shitting on that album, but
Yeah.
then recently I've been listening. I'm like, oh, this shit actually fucking is awesome. And even
Oh,
also
yeah.
funnier, like on the topic of A Day to Remember, like I was talking with Austin Clifton earlier today actually, and he was telling me how much he fucking hates A Day to Remember. And I'm just like, bro, what is wrong with you? How do you not like that band? But I don't know. I'm sure that's a
I
conversation
rag
you've had
on
with him.
Austin all the time. Oh, dude, I rag on him all the fucking time. Anytime he dislikes anything from like my era of growing up, I'm just like, dude, all you do is listen to fucking Jonas Brothers. Like, I grew up in a different era of like all those bands. So all the bands that he doesn't like, I grew up listening to and like
Right.
falling in love with, and they were all my gateway into like all this music now. And so it's like whenever he hates on it, I'm just like, I always throw a reference of like something that he likes, and I just tell like I just talk down on them. But
Yeah,
I
I
know
mean,
deep down though, like
like,
it's all fun. I love Austin dearly, and all the things that music wise, like I know for sure, dude. If we ever had the chance to play with the Day to Remember, I know Austin would be like, "Fuck yeah, dude," and
oh yeah,
he'd be
like
absolutely
he can't hate
stoked to
them
see
that
them every
much
night.
because
Dude, you know
TBD.
what? He could though. I hate Corn, dude. I despise Corn, dude. I fucking hate Corn.
There's
But you know what?
I like
I'll be
their
honest
I
with
like
you.
their
I
first
saw them
album.
live. Yeah, no, I fucking hate them. But I saw them live because literally I was working a Blackcraft merch tent in front of their fucking stage. So I literally had to fucking forcefully watch them. And I was like, you know what? They're really good live. Round of applause. Corn is really good live, but I fucking don't like that band. That's the only band I legit am like, no, I'm good. Like it gets
It's
played on my
okay.
fucking nope.
I can't stand Slipknot. That's
Sorry.
that's my that's my band I can't stand. Like I don't have an actual real reason for why I don't like Slipknot. I think it's just I don't like Corey Taylor's vocals, but like I've tried, like I've given it like a legitimate try, but I just can never get into Slipknot.
Nah,
But
makes sense. I like them, but I like all their older stuff, which that's what everyone says.
yeah, but like I mean, even like talking with about like A Day to Remember, it's like I know Austin can't hate them that much because every like not every single TBD show, but almost every TBD show we've covered at least one A Day to Remember song, and I know I've seen him fucking moshing during the middle of My Life for Hire. Like I've seen him moshing during that
Or
because
sing along.
I guess some honorary mentions for top three breakdowns would definitely go to My Life for Hire and Second Sucks by Day to Remember because those are two songs that TBD has
Second
covered at
stuff.
many shows. And then, OG
Dude, you know
Loco
what's
by
a
Mice Men was
great
another one we
one?
covered a lot.
Dude, I think a
What's a
low
great
like
one?
I think a fucking a not a dime. I'm not even gonna say diamond in the rough, but a song that ADTR has that like I feel like deserves way more attention is Sticks and Bricks.
Sticks and Bricks. Which album's that off of?
I believe it's For Those Who Have Heart.
I got their Wikipedia page
I
full of
could
right now.
be
I'm just kind of scrolling
wrong.
through stuff. You
I'm
said
pulling up my
I don't see it on there. Sounds like something.
Oh no, what separates me from you? The first song,
Ah,
track one. Dude, that song is so underrated. Like, if like whenever I try to get people into like listening to ADTR, the three songs I go to, well, technically four because I'll count Second Sucks, but it's All Points, All Signs Point to Lauderdale, and then you have fucking Downfall of Us All, Second Sucks, and then my number three would be Sticks and Bricks, or that would be the first one I would show because it has such a catchy chorus, has such a good breakdown, and the fucking verses are all fucking solid. Like the song is a perfect structured song, in my opinion. I love the
sick.
song.
It's been a while since I've really sat down and listened through a lot of the Day to Remember stuff because, like, really the only two songs that I know are Second Sucks and My Life for Hire because those are just the ones that I like are ingrained in my fucking muscle memory at this point. Like, um, we actually, for TBD, we always, played some cover songs because we didn't really have enough originals at the time when we first started to really fill out a set. So we always covered, our first couple shows, we covered not Second Sucks, but we covered My Life for Hire and OG Loco. And it eventually got to the point where we were so fucking tired of playing those two songs that we learned more covers. And so we played a show where we picked fucking 3 Days Grace and All I've Become and Second Sucks as our two covers for that show. We fucking butchered the 3 Days Grace song because of miscommunication on how the song would
Oh
start.
no.
So yeah, that
Fuck.
cover fell the fuck apart. But then we played Second Sucks, and that was really great. And that was the first show that we were ever demanded to play an encore. And we were all looking at each other going, are you fucking kidding me? The one show where we get asked to play a breakdown, and now we're forced to play the cover that we didn't want to play. So we ended up playing not Second Sucks. We played OG Loco as the very last song. We're just like, God damn it, we didn't want to play this song, but now we have to fucking play it. And during that
Was it
fucking
a good
song,
show?
there was just it was a great show. It was at the Hard Rock Cafe in Seattle, but I was having a real off day, so like the whole time I was just fucking pissed the whole show. I'm just like, I don't want to fucking be here. This sucks. But like the whole crowd was fucking electric that night. And at the very end, when we were playing OG Loco, there was a mosh pit kind of going on, and one of my buddies trips on some spilled beer, and he had a vape in his back pocket, and he
Fuck.
fell and smashed his vape all over the venue floor. And it, vape mixed with beer doesn't really work out too well. Charlie decides, hey, I'm gonna go jump out into the crowd because I got a wireless, and so I'm gonna
Oh
go mosh during
no.
the set because Charlie and I have had a habit of jumping into the crowd with our instruments and just moshing with people while playing because our songs are easy enough that we could do that. And so Charlie just jumps out into the middle of the pit here, not knowing that there's a giant concoction of vape juice and beer on the floor. He slips and falls, and trips over another one of my friends who decided to get into the pit at the same time, trips over them, falls
No.
flat on his, chest with his
On his.
guitar, underneath him. So he falls on his guitar, throws his shit like 5 steps out of tune, and he gets up, finishes playing
Oh.
the set. And at the very end, he checks this tuning, and we played OG Loco a full step down. So instead of drop C, we played it in drop A sharp to fit with some of the other songs that we had. And he was checking his low A string. He's like, "This is down to E." So he knocked his shit
Oh
like a
my
whole
god.
fifth down, but he still finished the set, and it still worked out. And I mean, there's photos of the show on Facebook, and it's like to this day my favorite set of like live shot photos that I've ever had taken of my band. Shout out to Marina for taking those photos. She did an awesome job with those. Austin's good friends with Marina. I definitely recommend her for anybody that wants
Yeah.
to get some good photos taken of them. She's awesome.
Yeah, I think I followed her on Instagram because he was like, oh yeah, she's the one that did all my photos while he was up there or something. So I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh cool, another photographer. Because I told him that I wanted it because I was like, I want a photographer, on my podcast. So I asked my friend Brianna, and she said that she's down, but she's not ready to be social yet because she's been like literally just like improving on her life since 2020 happened. She went and got like a really good job, and she actually just bought her first car like a couple
nice.
weeks ago. So she's just been like, yeah, and like she got her license and all that. So she's just been like killing it for herself. So she's like, I'm not ready to be social yet, but I'm down to be on your podcast. But I want a photographer sooner than later. Yeah, like I want to be able to get quite a few other people. I had my buddy Steven, his episode came out this morning. He actually he's a radio host and he's
Oh
a
shit.
rhythm guitar player. Yeah, so I like to get like, let people know like, if you fucking do anything, then like hit me up. Like if we know each other, hit me up. If you don't know me but you still want to just talk to me about random shit, hit me up. We're gonna fucking chat and it'll be fun. Like that's
Oh
just my
yeah.
whole thing.
Nice.
But
Yeah, no, I
hey,
definitely know a couple people
I'm
that'd
gonna
be down. I'll
dude
toss them
send
your
them my
way.
way. Tell them to message me. Yeah, be like, yo, add this guy and then message him because he probably won't get your fucking message request. Unless they
Like
add you first.
I need to
Or
send
no,
Charlie
yeah,
your way. Charlie will definitely entertain you for an hour.
dude, I'm down. Yes, if you want to send your whole band my way, go for it. I like to try to get all the members of a band on my podcast. That way, it kind of like completes the set.
Okay, yeah,
I feel
no,
like I'm a
I'll
collector. I
talk to the
collect
dudes
the
on Sunday.
bands.
Like we're meeting up or no, I don't
Okay,
know. I don't
cool.
think we're meeting up this Sunday. But like next time we meet up, I'll send them your way. Gives us more
Okay, yeah. I
content for the
mean, if you
Facebook
know
page,
anybody,
just share your stuff.
I mean, I'm gonna tag you and the band and all that, anyways, in it. So it'll,
Sick.
yeah. I mean, I don't have a lot of followers, but some people like me.